So, welcome back to Chat Kit today. Another episode. We're going to be doing something a bit different this week. How's it going, Owen? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? Right?
Sound, yeah. Sound, yeah. This week it'll be a bit of a different one. We're not picking a top five. What we'll be doing is it's going to be called Kit Archive. So we're going to be choosing a set of kits from a certain season, and then looking at kits from the season and how the team did as well. Do you want to let them know which ones we're going to be doing this week, Owen? Because you picked it.
Yeah, so this week we're looking at a Liverpool kit, and it's the Liverpool kits of the 08-09 season. So this is the kit where it was you had the red home kit, the grey away kit, and then you had the green third kit with the black shorts.
Yeah,
Um, so they are a bit different set of kits. You don't see them like that
yeah.
colourway anymore. And
What is it you chose it for?
for me, it was something that I grew up with. It's really
Yeah,
like that era is when I really got into football, to say probably a few seasons prior, but it vividly sticks in my brain watching all those players play at the time. And those kits, I think I had two kits of that. I had the green one and I had the uh, red one as well. So I had both kits. I think it was the last time my mum said she was going to buy me a kit, because I think was that the season Alonso left, and I got
uh,
Alonso on the back of the shirt. I might be the next season, but yeah, it was the last time my mum said she was going to get me a kit because she got Alonso on the back and then he left. But yeah, those kits were they weren't the best. Obviously, looking at them, they're not like anything outstanding. There's some previous
yeah,
designs which are better, there's future ones which are better, but it just resonates with me like they were at the time what I liked about football. So
yeah. I think they are really smart looking shirts. I mean, they are really simplistic in the design. I mean, the away shirt and the third shirt had a bit more about the home shirt than the home shirt.
yeah,
Sorry, so I think the home shirt is just it's like a classic Adidas design, isn't it?
yeah,
They're not really gone too far with it, but
yeah,
I do think it was because the seasons prior, obviously they had that Adidas shirt, which they had exactly the same as the Chelsea one, didn't they? So it was
yeah,
a bit of a
yeah,
different from that one. But I think that the away shirt, I just remember so like a lot of pushing for the title that season.
yeah,
Them
yeah.
shirts, obviously they came so close to winning the league. Probably the only time that I don't think they really pushed it close to Brendan Rodgers' time, was it? So
Yeah, I
um,
know.
it was a
I know.
great season as well.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fantastic season. I wish I'd remembered it a bit more. Obviously, looking back, it's at the time, how old was I? Like 8, 9 years old or something. So looking back, um, I've gone through it again, and some of the games and stuff that we've had a look through are just ridiculous. Especially like you look at that grey kit, the grey kit we wore at the time, sort of like a retro throwback to one of the '90s candy kits.
Yeah,
Obviously with like that check pattern, but
yeah,
yeah, I remember wearing that kit, playing United. That
yeah,
was such a fantastic game.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know. Yeah, it was just fantastic. Just players wearing them. It just sort of see. You just look at those kits and you think of certain names. Like your Gerrards, your Alonsos, even players like Skirtle.
Torres.
Yeah, Torres wearing them long sleeve. You can't beat it. I think he was the best player to rock a long sleeve shirt. But
Yeah, Torres. That season especially, like he just murdered Vidic on the floor, and he was like, he really did. Like
yeah,
Vidic, like was such a class defender, and he just didn't know how to defend against Torres. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that didn't he get sent off twice against him,
He did,
um,
yeah. So I think he
especially
got
in
sent
that
off.
game when it was at Old Trafford. I think that I don't think anybody's ever seen him. I don't think anyone saw him after or even before anyone even get close to him. And
Yeah,
Torres just had a field day against him.
I know there must have been something mentally with him that he just couldn't defend against Torres. There must have been something about it. There's a few battles
Yeah,
they've had, and I'm sure everyone's seen the videos that pop up on Facebook. But
yeah,
yeah, there's something about him that I don't know. It must have been the way Torres was, or Vidic must have just been like, "Oh, I'm going to have a bit of him," and just try too hard sometimes. But
yeah. I think it was because he was such a good striker that, in my opinion, Torres and Gerrard. I know you've had Gerrard and Suarez and Gerrard and Owen, and I think that Torres and Gerrard was the best combination. For that like short time that they were together, I think that it just brought the best out of both players. I know that people argue like, oh, Suarez, and I just love Torres. From the first game that you watched Torres in, you could just tell that he was an absolute baller. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He had like you talk about those seasons. I think Gerrard said that was his best football he played was under Rafa with Torres at the time, because he just sort of had that connection where they knew where they were going to be. You know, you put one in and they'd score. You put the other one in, you get an assist or something like that. But you know, they knew they had a great connection. Like comparing to Suarez, I think Suarez he was just on another level. And I think, you know, Gerrard was past it at the time. Probably pushing his years in the Prem, because I mean he carried that Liverpool team for so long, and I think this season was just such an example of like people don't look at these stats or look at his seasons or look at his seasons. And this season
he was top goal scorer, wasn't he? Like
he got I've got it
from centre
somewhere.
midfield, like.
Yeah. So we got 24 goals for Liverpool in all comps, 16 in the league. Funny enough, he came 10th in the Ballon d'Or as well, which is, I mean, you've got to think some of the players around at the time as well. Some of the teams that were up and coming. That Chelsea team probably had about 10 Ballon d'Or contenders in there as well. But some of the teams that they've come up against, some of the players around at the time, and I think this season is perfect for looking at the way Gerrard played, and when he did play further forward, how good he actually was.
The way I see that is that Real Madrid game in the last 16 of the Champions League. They absolutely blew him away in that.
Yeah.
And I think that I watched this video the other day, and it was after the game, Raul asked Gerrard if he'd signed for Real Madrid because he was the best centre midfielder that he'd ever played against, and he was like, "Can you sign?" And then he said no.
There's loads.
He was like, "I think you're a great player, but my heart's always with Liverpool." So just shows the type of person that he is.
This was just after obviously a few seasons after the Chelsea transfer saga, wasn't it? Obviously he was wanted by Chelsea after the Champions League final. But he chose to stick with us. You know, he's come out, and Mourinho's come out, and Ancelotti have come out and said that they all tried to sign him. You know, Mourinho said he tried to sign him 3 times or something, didn't he? So twice at Real and once at Chelsea or something. But it's just, you know, at the time it was his Liverpool, and if you're looking back at past seasons, you will associate any Liverpool team in that era with Gerrard. And I think he did benefit. Obviously, he had players like Mascherano and Alonso to do the work for him, but it just
wasn't being as box to box, was he? He didn't have to do as much. Rafa taught him how to play and like keep his like stamina, because I think that what he did was he made him not run as much and just let him do what he needed to do in the top half of the pitch. And I think that was a real good attribute to have, to obviously just control the game a lot more from higher up and just keep the ball there. And that's why he got his goals.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, 24 goals for a midfielder. I think you talk about, was it Yaya Toure's season when he got, was it 20 or 18 in the Prem or something? And it's like, hitting numbers like that as a centre midfielder are just ridiculous. And I think it's a shame that season that, even though, you know, probably fans had a good time, it was a title race between Liverpool and United. But
I know,
I think that season, it's just, he probably deserved some sort of trophy where just to top it off.
Just didn't happen for him. So there was a few signings that were made. Most notably was Robbie Keane. He was signed for 19 million and then sold for just 12. He only played 19 games, was it? A bit of a bizarre transfer. But you did sign Albert Riera, which I think at the time was a really good signing, to be honest. He did play really well for Liverpool in his time that he was there. He played for City just before, a few years before, and I didn't really see much of him. I didn't think he was any good, but when it was only 8 million. It was a really good transfer business while we were there.
There's a few that they signed around that time, but this was like the difference. If you talk about signings we made around this time, we finished second in the league, won the Champions League a few years before, made it to another Champions League final between then, and I think this is where Liverpool didn't sort of, kick on and go into that sort of next bracket with your Chelsea's, your United's.
Massive player.
Yeah, we were signing average players at the time, or bringing up average players through the youth rank and letting go too many good players. And if you finish second in the league, you've got to be signing big players to carry on. You can't be.
Yeah. Well, it was just coming up to when City were being taken over as well. So obviously we were coming in with some more money. Chelsea were signing players like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Man United were always strengthening because Fergie just had the knack to finding someone.
Yeah. Always bringing in someone. Yeah.
Even Spurs were signing big players, and
I know.
There's everyone around you is buying big players. You've got to keep with them, and that's probably why after they didn't win the league, obviously, Rafa just ended up leaving. Well, finishing 7th the season after and leaving because they didn't strengthen when it's hot.
Yeah, I know, and you've got to do that when you're on top, and it's a shame. Like that season, you finish second in the league, you finish in the quarters in the UCL, and you're not signing anyone. You've got players on the books like David and Go, Jermaine Pennant was still around at the time. But this is like some of the players that I sort of grew up with, and when people say, look at the Liverpool team now and how bad they are, and it's like, we had absolute donkeys playing for us back then. Desena as well. It's just some of the players are just absolutely shocking. I mean, there's a lot of cult heroes at the time, Agger, Skirtle, Arbeloa, even Mascherano. A lot of these players went on to play for a lot of these players went on to play for massive clubs as well, and it's ridiculous that they started off at Liverpool and finished second in the league. It's kind of
it's bizarre, isn't it? Arbeloa, he made a good career out of it at Real Madrid, didn't he?
Yeah, and there's even Mascherano. Mascherano, was it West Ham we signed him from?
Yeah.
For something stupid like we signed him for like a stupid fee, about 15 million or something, I remember. And it was just
at the time, it was quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot at the time, but then you look back and he went on to play for Barcelona. He's, arguably a Barcelona legend now, and it's
sometimes you don't even remember him at Liverpool, because he was at Barcelona for so long.
Yeah. But it's sort of like we were saying, like those signings, you can't let players like Alonso and Mascherano go within a season of each other.
That just shows the intention, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
I think, though, they were selling a lot of players that were over the age of 25, which I think is just bizarre, because that's why they got rid of Torres in the end, wasn't it? I think the owners I think you need to keep players like that because they're the ones that are going to win you trophies. Like, you can't just expect that a load of young kids are going to do it all the time.
And you've got, you talk about that Torres transfer as well. He was, 50 million or something at the time. And especially in the form he was in at the time. But gone a bit offside track there, talk about the transfer, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we'll get into this season now then. Because it is quite an interesting season, to be honest. Obviously we've said Liverpool finished second in the league, and we had top scorers in Gerrard, Torres and Coit all hitting double figures, which is mad. We look at some of them, all of them got double figures in the league. Obviously Torres was 2 behind Gerrard, then Cout was 2 behind Torres. So obviously something Rafa had going there was working. We had a look through some of the fixtures, and it's like we got 11 draws that season. Well, lost 2 games as well. Like, you think you lose 2 games, and now if you didn't draw 11 and you won the rest of them, you finish on 90? Was it 100 odd points or something like that?
It was similar to what you did the other year when City won the league. Was you just drew too many games, and
because I don't think lost 1 game.
Yeah,
that year lost 1 game. We drew like 6 or 8 games, and it was just you just lose too many points. And you
Difference
think
between winning the league and not winning the league, isn't it?
Yeah, you think it's a good result getting a draw against the top side, but realistically, it's shocking if you're dropping points against other top six teams. It all adds up at the end of the year, and that probably did cost Gerrard lifting the trophy. I mean, I did have a look at the losses. We lost to Spurs, which at the time probably up and coming, and probably a bit of rivalry trying to sign players. But we lost to Middlesbrough. I think it was like 2-0 as well. I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. You want to the prime Gerrard playing. You want to win the Prem and the Champions League, and you're losing to Middlesbrough. It's just not on that really.
Not on, is it?
Yeah. But some of those draws. Having a look, this was a season where we had the 4-4 thriller against Arsenal.
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
Especially Andre Arshavin's 4-goal thriller. But
it was one of his first games as well.
Yeah, I think it must have been his first season or something at Arsenal. But it always comes up on, doesn't it? Like Premier League years or greatest performances and stuff. But
his celebrations was like so funny. He was like so shocked that he'd scored 4, and he was like,
I know. But I think that sums up Liverpool's year, really. Like, sort of great attacking prowess with the players up front, and
just defensively,
and you think about it now, like Rafa came on, and he's been at Newcastle. He made Newcastle into a solid unit, didn't he? And he did work wonders with them now. But at the time, I don't know what was going on with him. He can't be conceding 4 goals and scoring 4. It's kind of like Jurgen Klopp's heavy metal football. To say that you expect that from Jurgen Klopp, not from a Rafa team. But
So, I mean, they struggled in the cup as well. They got knocked out of the FA Cup and the League Cup as well in the 4th round. Once in the derby by Everton. 1-0. And also against Spurs in the League Cup 4-2, which I think that you have to be trying to get into all competitions. I like that Guardiola every season puts his strongest team out in all of his competitions. Like, I think that more teams should. I don't know. A lot of the time, and back in like 2008, 2007, Arsenal did it a lot. Just put the whole youth team out. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of the time people come unstuck with. That's not what the cup's for. It's for winning, especially the FA Cup.
You look at that FA Cup. We got so we had the first game against Everton was at Anfield, and I think we got a late equaliser to draw that game. So it was a replay at Goodison Park, which is, obviously if you're playing a replay at Goodison Park and you're in a title race, you don't really want to be playing replays. I think Klopp said it a few years ago, didn't he, that you don't really want to be taking games to replays. You want to win it when you can, or give it your all. Maybe you lose, you've give it your all still. Replays in congested seasons when you're competing in Champions League and everything, they just add extra minutes. It's unnecessary games. But losing, I think we lost, was it 2-0 or 1-0 to Everton in the replay or something? You can't be losing derbies, especially in the FA Cup. But it seems like every single year we get Everton in the FA Cup at some point. But it's either
they just love it, don't they?
Yeah, we always get either Everton, Chelsea, or someone like United or someone in the FA Cup. We always get a big team, and they always, I don't know, it must be the heated ball theory, like Peter Crouch says in his podcast, they heat the balls up for the big teams, don't they? So go on.
Sorry, no, it's fine.
So apart from that, you look at it was called the Carabao Cup, wasn't it, at the time, or the League Cup or something? Carling Cup, it was a Carling Cup, that's when football was good, that when it was the Carling Cup. It was interesting. I think you talk about when they played like youth squads. I think this is a prime example of playing youth squads, because I was looking through some of the players that scored, and it's just like some of the players that scored shouldn't probably nowhere near the first team. It's only the fourth. Is it 4th round or something?
Yeah,
it's shocking. But
I think you should just put your first team out all the time. Like, that's what they're there for. They're there to play the games. Like, if they're not good enough, or you've got these youth players that are there, they should be playing in the first team a lot more regular, not just throw them in and just expect them to win a game.
Yeah, I think you're seeing that now. You're seeing a lot of teams. Obviously, youth players now are more equipped to playing at higher levels, aren't they? I think back then there was such a strong, there's such a big difference between, say, like 18-year-olds and people who are 25, 26. You look at like Jude Bellingham now, he's 17 and he's playing in Champions League. Players like Curtis Jones, Phil Foden, even Trent came through at a young age, like 18. All these players are coming through at young ages and taking it on. I think Arsenal does really well at that. They bring up players really young. I think you look back then, I think some of the youth players were, they're good, but I think a lot of youth players back then had a lot of weight on them to perform, live up to expectation. You look at players like Bojan, Pato when he came onto the scene. They're really young and they were given these such high ceilings and they just couldn't step up to it in the end. Whether it was injuries, pressure, media pressure. Obviously, media was growing back then as well. We didn't have as much as social media, but obviously the vast difference might have caused so much pressure on youth players back then that they've just crumbled. I think one of the youth players we had at the time was probably, is it David Ngo or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Spearing was coming through.
Yeah, you look at him now, he's playing for Tranmere Rovers. He captained Blackpool for something like 5 or 6 seasons. It's just ridiculous, the players
he was so rubbish.
I know. I think that's the claims of fame, is that I met Jay Spearing in Cheshire Oaks. But my parents were like, do you want a photo? I know, my parents were like, do you want a photo? I was like, no, I'm all right. I don't want one.
You'd probably be taller than him.
I know, yeah. He's not a good looking fellow, is he? But
no. With the season, obviously, it was, as you said, obviously, I'm pretty similar. I was growing up looking through that season. So it was quite good to look through how it went. Because obviously, as a City fan, I didn't really look at anybody else's. I did see, obviously, that Liverpool were in the title race, and obviously you do watch it on the TV, but I never really took as much of a notice. So it was nice to look through, obviously, seeing how Liverpool actually played that season, to see how, like we said about the draws and things like that, seeing where they have dropped points, you probably see now why you didn't win the league.
Yeah.
But, however, it was good to see the shirts and looking back through them. And I think that I did enjoy looking back at it, because you remember how nice the kits were at the time, and it was really good to look back through the season as well.
So. Yeah, I know, it makes it fun. And like you said, when we look at games, you talk about that like United game at Old Trafford, and we were wearing that grey away kit, and it makes you think of pictures of that game. Torres scoring, Gerrard scoring, Aurelio scoring a free kick, Gerrard coming up to the camera with the grey kit, kissing the badge and then kissing the camera.
Yeah.
You look at those kits and you think, oh, that was for that game. That was amazing. That and that's what you associate with them. So
yeah. So after that now, so obviously we will be doing another one of them in the future. Not sure as to what shirts we'll do next, but we definitely will be, because I have enjoyed doing that again.
Yeah.
And also just a bit different than the top 5. So anyway, going on to the predictions this week, there is some massive games. We have had 3 games picked out for us again. So the 3 games I've picked out is the Leeds United game. So Leeds Man United game, Liverpool Newcastle game, and also the West Ham Chelsea game. 3 massive games in the Premier League. All of them pretty much a race to the top 4. And also one just to try and stay in the top 4. After the last predictions we've done, the league table has been updated, which I'll just put up now. I got one totally correct. That's Arsenal. I got 3-0. Owen, you got one result, which is Arsenal 1-0, but never got the score right. And I also got the West Brom result, so I'm going top of the league.
We did all right. Some of the games, it's just difficult to do, isn't it?
Oh, I can't believe City.
Yeah, I know. Some of the games that happened it's just bizarre, isn't it? At the time, you think I put 3-0 for that City Leeds game.
Oh,
I
I'm
thought you would have walked it, but
do you know what? Like, as soon as I saw the team sheet, I was like, oh, we're not going to get a result here. I don't know why and
yeah.
what told me that. It's just like they were resting players for Dortmund or something. But
I know. You know what? It would have been worse if you'd rested players and then
got beat.
not gone. Then you were close to bottling it in
Yeah.
Germany as well. But yeah, that was interesting. I mean, we picked up a bit of form on weekend, beat Villa again, didn't we? So
yeah,
it's sort of it's coming together and it's setting up for a nice top four race, isn't it? Towards the end of the season. And
yeah, definitely.
as we've got these fixtures now to got to predict, it'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. So the 3 games have been picked by Meg's brother this weekend. So he's picked 3 massive games. So he's not done out by halves. So the first game is the Leeds Man United game, which is a big game for most of their fans. It is it is a derby, I think. I wouldn't say it's a sort of derby because obviously they're a lot further away, but the fans just make it as a derby, don't they? So the first game, I think there'll be goals. Obviously, Man United away, they always seem to score goals, as well as that Leeds at home.
Better away, aren't
they're just unbelievable scoring goals. But then they also concede a lot.
Yeah.
So the first prediction I've gone for is I've gone 2-2. I just think there'll be goals in this, So I think there'll be goals in it, and I think that Man United obviously probably get a penalty, and I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, I think it will be a good game, but I think I've gone for a bit. I've gone for a United win away. I've got 3-1 United, so I can't see Leeds not scoring. I think Leeds will score. I think United will score, but I think United will just edge it. I think at the minute they are showing that they are pushing onto that next level. Whether they can sustain it, it's a different story. But yeah, that'll be should be an interesting game on paper. You watch now, it'll be like a 0-0. If it's anything like the City game, the City against Leeds, it'll be a good game because that was quite interesting to watch. You have like 29 shots, 26 on target or something stupid like that.
The thing is with Leeds, they're defensively just depleted, aren't they, a lot of the time?
Yeah, when they lost Ben White, didn't they, at the start of the season? And you hear Leeds fans say that Ben White was the difference in the Championship, and he's gone to Brighton. I think he has shown his worth. To be honest, he does seem like he's a solid defender, ball-playing defender. So it's a shame that if that's the reason why they're not as defensive, that they couldn't keep hold of him.
I mean, they signed 3 centre-backs and they've all been injured all season. So it is quite unlucky the way they have and still be in the top 10. Are they in the top 10? I think it is.
I think so, yeah.
Or they're there or thereabouts all season. It shows how much of an impact they've had with just because they can score so many goals. And Patrick Bamford's been in some form this season when he's been playing.
Yeah, you've got to look at players like that. And
Rafinha.
Yeah, Rafinha's come into it a lot. I think he's helped them a lot. But, it says stuff like the first game of the season when Liverpool played Leeds, was it finished 4-3?
Yeah.
It's just mad. It's just absolutely bizarre. The
way they play football. Off, do they?
Yeah, the way they play football is fantastic, and it is a great sort of advertisement for the Premier League, if you want to say. That's
definitely.
That's sort of exciting football they play. They're not scared to attack, and even when they were playing City before they got a man sent off, they were in the game. They were giving you a good game. I think the previous game
was 0-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they do play good football at times. It's just a shame that if Bielsa learned how to defend, well, not learn how to defend, but if he just adapted tactically, maybe have Phillips holding a bit more, they'd probably be pushing for Europa League places in the next 2 years. obviously with the right signings. But yeah, that game should definitely be a good one.
Next one, obviously, do you want to put your prediction with it being your team? It's the Liverpool Newcastle one.
So the last game was probably the worst game that kicked off the unscorable Anfield drought, which was it was 0-0 last time we played against Newcastle. So now it's not going to be an away game. We do like to play on the road for some reason, which is, maybe if we get fans back, it'll be a bit different. But I've gone for a big prediction. I've gone for 3-0 Liverpool. Very bold. We did put, was it 3 past Arsenal or something like that? 2 past Villa. Yeah. We are looking like we're coming into a bit of form. So hopefully it does kick on from here, especially being knocked out the Champions League. We need some results, and the players do look like they're a bit hungrier for the finish, and it's coming back. We've got a bit more defensive solidity. So I can't see Newcastle being too much of a threat to us. I think 3-0 will get us will be a big result.
I've gone for a bit of a closer game. I think that Newcastle, I'm not saying they've shown loads, but I think if they could get a goal, I think with Liverpool's defence, I think they might get 1, but I still think that Liverpool will score 2. I think that it'll be 2-1 Liverpool. The way, like you said, the way Liverpool are playing at the moment, they are improving every game and getting a bit more confidence in them. But I think that Newcastle have to be in confidence with the way they've played recently. I think it has improved, but I think that Liverpool will just have a little bit too much for them. I think that Newcastle might get just like a consolation goal, if anything.
Yeah,
I can't really see any other result other than a Liverpool win.
But hopefully it'll be a good game for us. We need some players to step up, really, and I think this is a game for your likes of Mane to break his goal scoring drought, for Firmino to step up if he has. But
I think that I don't rate Firmino at all. I think that he's been found out this season so much.
Yeah, his numbers have been declining, haven't they? I think the last 3 seasons he has dropped. I mean, he's still putting up like 10 goal involvements a season, and when you couple that with Jota's numbers, Shaqiri's had a few numbers go up as well. Around the team, it's been okay, but all of our front line this season's been dreadful, apart from Salah.
And when you take out Mane's goals and Salah's goals a lot of the time, you need your striker to be stepping up and scoring goals.
I know, yeah.
You just need some. I think that I don't care like what team you are. If your striker's not scoring goals, it just breeds that you're struggling, because at the end of the day, you might have the best defense in the world, but if you're not scoring goals, you're not going to get anywhere. Really, are you?
Yeah, there was a few. There was a stat that came up the other day, and it's something like defensively we're not actually that bad. You think of a partnership when you've got a 24-year-old who was playing second division Bundesliga last year, a 20-year-old that's come from a side in Schalke that's going to get relegated. You've got Trent, who's apparently having his worst season of his life, which is the worst. If you're a football fan, you shouldn't really be saying anything about that. But defensively, I think we're only 2 goals behind United conceded wise. Yeah. We've got one of the best. I think we're the second best defense on expected goals or something. Defensively, we're amazing. It's literally just our front line, and without Salah's goals, we would be in a relegation battle or a mid-table battle. Not relegation, that's a bit too far. We would be in a mid-table battle. But,
yeah, definitely. And then the final game, it is a massive game. It's a West Ham Chelsea game. Now, it is a difficult one because, as we've said, West Ham have been chucking away results, and they nearly chucked away the Leicester one, as they did with the Arsenal one.
Yeah.
So I've gone 1-1 West Ham and Chelsea. I think that where Lingard's playing at the moment, I think he's always up for a goal. Souček's playing well. I think that they've got everything that it takes, but I think it's just Chelsea have been different animals since Tuchel's been there. I think that they know a way of getting a result, and I think that Mason Mount's been incredible recently. A tough game from both, so I think it might just be a draw, and I think they'll both be really happy with that.
Yeah, I think it will be a close game, but I do think Tuchel's just got too much. The way he's come into Chelsea has changed the way Chelsea are playing. I think he is a phenomenal manager, and he should have been given time at PSG.
Yeah,
really. Obviously he's got stuff going on with the board members in the background and politics and all that. But this game will be a close one. I think the way Chelsea set up, I think they'll be able to shut out West Ham. So I'm going for a 2-0 Chelsea win.
right.
The way they destroyed Palace last week, they did concede, but Tuchel's shown that when he plays safer football, he can keep clean sheets. I think he's been trying to prove a point that he doesn't have to play safe football all the time, can still win games. I mean, was it midweek? They lost 1-0 to Porto, but that, it's a wonder goal. That
Can't really do anything against a goal like that, can you?
I know, but I mean, he is a good manager. He's got a good system going on. Chelsea look like they're going to push for top 4. I think West Ham are on a turning edge. There's been a few results the last few weeks where they've not looked as good, to say. They do rely on certain
They've been
players
good in the attacking end, but then the defending end, you've been overrun.
There's some, and you look at the big teams they've played. I think we've played them twice and put 6 past them on aggregate or something like that.
Yeah,
they've been opened up by the big teams, and you've only got to look at that Arsenal game. Arsenal are nowhere near where Chelsea are at, and Arsenal brought it back. Granted, Arsenal should never have been 3-0 down to West Ham, but it's one of those where I think West Ham will be caught up, and I think this game might be the turning point where they do enter a bit of bad form.
Yeah. So, but it'll be a good week for football. Obviously, you'll start to see a lot more teams who might stay up, who might get in the top 4, more than likely when City are going to win the league as well. So I think that a lot of questions will be answered this weekend. So it'll be just a great weekend of football, I think. Yeah,
should be a good one. Key for the top 4 race as well.
Definitely. I've enjoyed doing the obviously looking back through the archives at the 2008-2009 season for Liverpool. As I said, we'll probably do another one of these maybe next week, or maybe like another one in a few weeks' time. But I've definitely enjoyed it. Obviously, if you've not already and you do like these videos, just drop them in the comments below. As well as that, just subscribe to the channel. But have you got any parting words, Owen?
No, apart from come on Liverpool. Hey!
Well, anyway, it's been a great time anyway, and I'll see you soon anyway, Owen. Hopefully in the pub soon anyway.
Yeah, I know. Maybe a pint next time.
Well, I'll see you in a bit anyway. And, see you all next week.
See you later.